You're tuning in to Stellar Cycles, hosted by Alina
and Eva Brown. Join us weekly as we delve into the science, spirituality, and cultural significance of our feminine cycles.
Get ready to align with your natural rhythms, take charge of your patterns, and embrace a holistic approach to feminine wellness. Are all systems go?
All systems go.
Hey Eva, and hello to our listeners, our stellar seeds tuning in for another episode of Stellar Cycles. Welcome to episode 14, Follicular Phase Fuel. So this episode is all about fueling your body during your follicular phase. Since we covered what the body needs during the menstrual phase and all that energy loss, now we're ready to talk about what your body needs to eat right after your period is over, when your little eggs are growing and preparing for ovulation. As with the other phases, the hormonal levels and interactions are unique and require certain foods in order to execute their jobs. First, we're going to launch into updates.
I'm currently in my luteal phase, but I have a lot more energy than the last few times we were recording during this phase. And the reason why is because I was really in flow with myself, listening to my needs, and I dialed back interaction with humans by a lot.
Mood.
Yeah, I completely went in ghost mode, and everyone's different. Some of you might have more capacity to socialize, and as much as socializing is so fun, at this stage in my life where I have multiple businesses, investments, taking care of my own health, it's a little bit too much for me to still perform in the same way. So on my luteal phase, I really focused on checking off everything on my to-do list. I actually attacked more things this month than I ever have before during this phase. So that was really, really nice. I felt very accomplished and successful. And the other things I did was just a lot of heavy meditation, multiple breaks throughout the day to call back in my energy.
For sure, just to make sure you can keep that momentum and not fall off.
You have to. And a big meditation that I've been doing that has changed a lot for me is just calling back your energy in the middle of the day or even at the end of the day. Because as you talk on the phone with somebody, text somebody, especially if you're in an in-person exchange with somebody, when you leave them, your energy sometimes will stay with them, actually most times. So it's really important to either sit and do a meditation for 2 minutes and visualize a sun above you and all of the energy is coming back from every person around the world that you ever been with. The first time you do this, it'll be really extreme because obviously there's been a lot of people that have your energy. So you'll visualize it coming back from you in every place you've ever traveled, any office you've been in. And once that sun is completely filled up, it'll burst and all of the little sun particles and the light will go back into your body and absorb back into you. Once you've done that the first time, then every day you can just randomly say, I call back in all of my energy, and you'll literally feel it in your body. And it's helped me a lot with my luteal phase.
I need this. I don't even be interacting with people like that, but it's like sometimes just the thinking.
Yeah.
You know, thinking, mulling over things from the past, people from the past that you don't talk to anymore. I can totally agree with you and say that I can feel that sapping out my energy daily. So I'm going to definitely try that. Love.
Yeah, sometimes multiple times a day if you need to. Big difference. So that's that. And then my skincare journey is finally coming to a conclusion. For probably a year now, I've been journaling things like I have tight, smooth skin, my pores are small, my skin is super soft and glowy, and now all of it's coming to fruition. I'm so excited. I never thought it would come from that skincare, from any sort of skincare line, but that Korean line just did me right. And then now I don't have any more breakouts. I'm so happy. And then other than that, I mean, just balancing my life this week has felt just really great. Of course, you guys know I'm all about maximizing every minute, being very efficient with how I do and utilize everything, every moment. And that helps me be a lot more intentional when I'm with my friends, when I'm with family. And all of this is possible by building a team, having a great support group, and people that you pay to help you in your life. So I really recommend you guys building that for yourselves. Like I always say, even if you're starting really small, find someone that can help you maximize your time, whether if it's a friend that can cook. One week you cook, the next week they cook. Anywhere where you can double dip in your life, it's going to help you guys. And of course, it's a learning process, but as you expand and you'll learn how to bring in people and how to speak to people and motivate them in a way that helps the entire team win. And I mean, really too, it's about helping each other, right? Like, you get lifted up and you reach back to give people your hand to help them up as well. And then if you keep doing that for a long enough time, things are going to be easy for you, because that's the goal. We all want an easy life. Yeah, we're not meant to struggle. So these are my updates. Alina, your turn.
Yeah, so a lot has happened. At the beginning of this month, we actually met with Xenia's Sober Squad. Now, a lot of people didn't come because I think they're still like warming up to the group, but it was me, Xenia, and another girl that I met for the first time. And we just met at the park and we kind of talked about why we're in that group. Now, I'm not in that group for alcohol. I'm just in it for friends. But the other people are, trying to stop drinking, which I think is really amazing. There's a huge push for that this year where people are either sober curious or just saying goodbye to alcohol. And it's like literally the most normalized, justified substance in our society. Yeah. And then, of course, people who are under an influence, they can't think critically. So like, why would our country want, a nation full of critical thinkers? They don't. But either way, when we were at the park, we were kind of journaling about our futures. So this was like an idea that I had for the time that we were there. I just said, let's pull out our journals and take yourself in the future a few years. I picked 5 years, they picked 3. And we just literally wrote, not in future tense, but in like past tense, as if these things already happened. So, for them, they wrote about how their businesses were thriving, the partners that they had found, the type of lifestyle that they were getting to live. And, I kind of did the same, and it was really cool because it puts you in that space of like, wow, I can really achieve this. Like, I don't just have to hope for it, but like putting yourself into that future moment and scripting out your life, I think is really, really helpful. I also finally had my Parsley Health appointment, my little Zoom. For those of you that don't know, it's an online program where you get to have several meetings throughout the year with a practitioner, like a real doctor, and then a health coach, and they can order the lab testing for you and, sometimes even order you prescriptions if that's what you really need. But it's very much like a holistic type of situation. Now, my meeting with Parsley was over an hour long with my practitioner. We went from my birth to present moment. Like she asked me everything from like birth to present moment. And there was even moments where I was just like, I was already getting light bulb moments like, oh, okay, so I was on antibiotics here. And then 2 months later, I was again on antibiotics. And then 2 months later again. And like, no wonder my skin was freaking out that summer. And she was like, yeah, you see, like your gut was really messed up, even though you were born with a healthy gut and blah, blah, blah. So really cool. And I will say that like the estheticians that I've been to have really scared me off of like eating eggs, eating dairy, eating all these things that would typically make like food sensitive people break out, right? But I'm not like food sensitive because I don't get any of the digestive symptoms. I can literally eat everything. But it really messed things up for me because I'm trying to keep on weight. So if I'm not eating dairy, if I'm not eating eggs, if I'm not eating all these foods I'm used to eating, and then my skin isn't getting any better, like I'm just getting more messed up. So it was really nice to hear from her that she doesn't think that's the problem. We're really going to test my hormones and my cortisol level. Overall experience for that was awesome. I felt so heard. I felt so seen, unlike any sort of like health provider appointment I've ever had. So very excited to see where that goes. Also, my tretinoin is coming in today, so I'm going to be starting that.
I've been getting ads for that. Is it the company that sends you like a monthly subscription of tretinoin? I think it's like $30 a month.
There's several of them that do it now. I've tried Curology before, and Curology worked for me great when I wasn't having hormonal breakouts. Like my skin was perfect on Curology. Now, I do think it's hormonal, so I went with Apostrophe. Is it like the bright yellow one that you see? Yeah, so that's it. And they do provide oral medication too, if that's what you need, but I luckily only got tretinoin and spironolactone topical. So spironolactone really attacks the hormonal breakout. And then tretinoin, as some of us might know, is really good retinol, which I did try in 2018, but I didn't follow instructions. I just kind of went ham with it, and I was like, this isn't working. And then I quit.
My secret for retinol is buying it in Mexico, getting tretinoin over the counter over there. So
next time we're on vacation, we're doing it.
Depending on like what pharmacy. The max I've seen is $50. But here in the States, I've had friends that pay $700 for a thing of tretinoin.
No.
Yeah, high quality stuff.
That's just the way our system works. They're going to hike up those prices. And then you go to Mexico.
Goes to Mexico or Canada
yes,
to buy.
Yeah.
Thank God we live here.
I also finally caved, Eva. I got the Amazon wristbands. The wrist scrunchies. Oh my goodness. What was I waiting for?
When you wash your face, guys, there are these wristbands that go along your wrists to like soak up all the water.
So that water doesn't run down your arms and all over your counter.
On your pants, on the counter.
Yeah, so I've been loving those. Anyone, if you've been thinking about getting them, just get them. You need them yesterday. Bone broth has been low-key working wonders for me. That's the first thing I drink every single morning.
Are you gonna check out the Costco brand? It's organic.
I don't like chicken bone broth. That's the only one that they have. I do beef.
Beef does taste really good, but I've heard chicken is the healthier one if they make it out of the chicken feet.
That's a no for me right now. I have to ease into it. This is like my first bone broth that I've tried, and I really like it.
It's tasty. Beef bone broth I can drink as a tea. It's so tasty.
And I'm kind of telling myself that it's really helping me with my skin because, again, like most of these topical things.
Us breaking out, whether if it's a rash, eczema, anything, it's always an internal side effect of what's going on inside. I think bone broth is definitely helping. A lot of collagen too.
It's like really calming down my skin, honestly. So girlies, get the bone broth. Also waiting on our wedding video. It should be here this week. Really, really hoping. Also waiting on my period because I am like full of these ideas that I really want to actualize, so I cannot be pregnant right now. That would just not be the move.
You'd be giving birth to your ideas and a baby.
No, you can't do both.
Energy. A lot of my
creative energy
friends have popped off really great businesses while they're pregnant. I mean, it's just
maybe it throws you into a different mindset because now you have this like human to think about.
Yeah, mindset, your hormones play too. Also, God works with you in different ways when you're pregnant. He's like blessing you in different ways, you know?
That's all beautiful, but not for me right now. I think Sam would agree. But my final update, you guys, is I recorded using GarageBand, actually, like a little manifestation track for myself. I made a script and wrote out all of the things that I really want to see happen in my life, like 2 months from now. I recorded it, exported it, overlaid it with a little tune, and I play it every single morning from my phone and just listen to my own voice talk about the things that I want to see and achieve in my life. The emotions that I'm flooded with when I listen to that is just like off the wall. And as much as I love the Superhuman app, there's something else about like listening to your own voice that's just so key.
It's so very personal to you.
I'm gonna make a TikTok on how to do it. How to make your life a movie type of vibe.
We all know y'all are here to hack your hormones, so let's dive into it. After you guys finish this episode, you're going to leave equipped knowing what hormones are at play and how to use food to help them work in your favor. So keep in mind that your follicular phase is 2 weeks. So this is a phase you want to really pay attention to. But what's funny is a lot of us actually stop thinking about what we're eating at this time because after you're done with your menstrual cycle, I mean, what else is there to worry about? You're just ready to go out, have fun, eat whatever.
Everything's a good idea.
Yes. But we forget that this is in preparation for our ovulation. So we still want to maintain a good diet. So even though you probably aren't going to be diving into this 100% right off the bat, it really helps to remember that in your follicular phase, it's easier to build new habits.
We always got to remind even myself of that. I'm like, Alina, you got to use this phase to implement the changes that you want to see in your life.
Totally habit stacking. I mean, this is the time to do it. And the reason why is your neurons are forming new pathways at this time. So you really want to take advantage of that. Learn a new skill, even a hobby, just dive in. But before we jump into food, Alina is going to give you guys the science and the hormonal breakdown of the follicular phase.
Yeah, thank you. We're always going to bring it back to this because it's so important to understand why we eat for our hormones, why we want to eat certain things that help our hormones do their best job in our body. So in the follicular phase, remember that the follicular stimulating hormone, FSH, has been sent out to the eggs because of the menstrual phase. They know that you're not pregnant. Now it's ramping up the growth of those eggs again. So the FSH, it's the food for the eggs. It gets them big and ready and juicy for ovulation.
And this is why the follicular phase, it overlaps with the menstrual because day one of your period, it's like, oh, cool, we're not pregnant. Let's now create these follicles again.
Exactly. So at this time, your follicles are starting to swell. And since the estrogen in your body is made in your ovaries, your brain doesn't produce estrogen like it produces that FSH. The estrogen made by the ovaries starts to rise and build up your uterine lining. So as those little follicles are growing, estrogen is rising too. And with this steady rise in estrogen, your mood, your energy, and your concentration are going to increase as well, resulting in those feel-good chemicals like serotonin, that's the happy hormone, and dopamine, the hormone for motivation. Those start flooding your brain during this phase. So you're feeling cleansed, light, energetic, and yeah, most of us feel this great relief and resurgence of energy after our period is done.
I have questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so estrogen does all of that great stuff.
Yeah.
But it also, of course, and later on in this episode, we're going to talk about it, how we're even trying to flush out the excess estrogen because estrogen can make us break out, or too much of it can give us PMS symptoms, right?
Yeah. So the unwanted effects that women usually get, like excessive cramping or heavy bleeding, tender, sore breasts, even fibroids, those growths in your uterus, that's all excess estrogen. So your body is making estrogen throughout the cycle, but if you're eating certain foods that add to that hormone level and increase your already made estrogen, and then you're not getting that out, then you're going to get those
Yes. And that's why it's
symptoms.
So important for us to balance our hormones, especially as a woman. Women, we're just so different than men. And it's just so much more important for us to follow these health laws for ourselves, because too much of a good thing can also lead to bad symptoms.
And I do want to say, you know, we're always harping on excess estrogen in this podcast, but then there's also such a thing as low estrogen.
Totally.
So that looks like frequent UTIs. It can look like a lot of hot flashes, like your body can't regulate its own temperature.
Oh, right, like menopause.
Night sweats. Yeah, kind of like you're in early menopause almost, you know, because your body's just doesn't have enough estrogen. Yeah. So again, like you said, balance is everything.
Cool. And what phase would we talk about foods where we actually need estrogen? When does estrogen drop off completely?
When you're menstruating. So all those hormones drop off. I think there's a small dip in estrogen right after you ovulate, but then it kind of starts increasing again towards the end of your cycle, then drops again. Yeah. So that's why when we're on our period, we don't have those feel-good estrogen vibes like the serotonin and the dopamine and stuff.
Refer to our Instagram graphic.
Yes.
I love that one.
The hormonal roller coaster or girler coaster.
You guys will find it maybe on row 3.
It's one of the earlier ones.
Like 4th or 5th post. So moving on, in our last episode, we explained the 3 food guidelines that we will be referring to throughout this series. Those are food energetics, micronutrients, and estrogen metabolism. Food energetics, traditionally used in Chinese medicine, states that each food has an energy that can nourish our body or create imbalances that result in sickness. And micronutrients, often referred to as vitamins and minerals, are the building blocks specifically needed during each phase. And lastly, estrogen metabolism, since estrogen levels vary according to phase and many symptoms are brought on by excess estrogen, as we were talking about. So we want to keep this hormone moving, metabolizing, and eliminating it.
Yeah, so here's a few examples so you guys can understand what food energetics are a little better. Have you ever felt anxious? That could be foods with caffeine, sugar, or alcohol. They can create these tensing qualities in the body. So if you feel anxious, consider looking at how much coffee, sugar, and alcohol you consume in relation to the other foods in your diet. Those are really going to ramp up your cortisol and your kind of fight or flight response. And that's going to contribute to the feeling of anxiety that you literally get in your gut, right?
Yes. And definitely do not drink caffeine of any sort 2 hours after waking up. Drink water before you put caffeine in your system for sure.
Yeah, or put some food down.
Yeah, but definitely not within the first 2 hours. That will make a big difference in your anxiety.
I think even Andrew Huberman talks about this, right?
It's a big topic right now.
Yeah. Like we will always suggest, reach for tea and fruit over coffee and candy. Tea will still have some caffeine, but it won't be as acidic to your body or an inflammatory. Fruit, of course, is just a great source of natural sugar, and it also helps cleanse your body too.
Yeah, or take vitamins like lion's mane or adaptogens. There's this really great vitamin I take. That stuff gets me so focused. It's better than Adderall, guys. And it's natural.
Yeah.
It's super good. It's like I get really focused and dialed in. But other than that, I mean, I haven't drank caffeine in a long time. But I know these habits take a long time to build up. So one day you guys will be at a level where literally fruit does sound more enticing than candy. And you just want to go for those small steps in the right direction.
And already that's what your body wants anyway. We just like shut up our cravings with sugar and candy and things like that.
Once you eat it and you're full, you're not thinking about candy anymore. It's done. So you just have to make that one good choice.
Set off that domino effect. You know, me too. I have just not had coffee since, as far as like daily, for such a long time. And I had some the other day, and I cannot tell you how cracked out it made me feel.
I feel you. Same.
It's like anxiety in a cup.
Like have jitters. My body
Clammy.
gets really hot. Clammy.
No.
The hands.
But at the same time, it's like how many people have to drink that just to get to their job, and then they have to drink more to do their job.
That's a side effect of your
not being in alignment,
being imbalanced. You're not aligned. So like those are the ways of your body telling you, like it's yelling at you. So it's hard, but just start to make the little steps in the right direction.
If you want to feel more grounded, this is so funny. Reach for foods that literally grow in the ground. Root vegetables, especially when stewed or baked, they really bring forth a stabilizing quality. I have a note from 3 years ago, and Sam said something like, I don't know what he was on, but he was like, root vegetables for your root chakra.
Oh, I'm so proud of Sam.
He gets it now. So there's that, you know.
Good job, Alina.
Nature really makes things so easy for us. It's like you want to feel more grounded, eat more rooty vegetables, right? Carrots, potatoes, sweet potatoes we love. What else? Turnips, parsnips, radishes.
And as fairy tale like the sound, it's actually very
it's
real.
So
guys.
simple.
You can see this in like so many different books, studies. This has been written in Chinese medicine books forever. What about if you need an energizing boost?
So for natural energy, you're going to reach for bright fruits and leafy greens. Like their colors, you're going to feel more vibrant and refreshed.
I feel like I have so much energy. I feel very light when I eat that way.
That's why there's now a whole industry built on greens powders, because people are like, I guess, too lazy to eat a salad, so they'd rather just shake up their athletic greens. I'm one of those people sometimes.
Remember, our produce isn't as effective as it used to be.
It's not. It's not
as nutrient
It's so much more devoid.
So you guys need your vitamins. You need those athletic greens.
Yes, supplement for sure, because we're really not getting as much in our food nowadays. And if you want to feel more connected, eat some foods that are grown locally, purchased at your local farmer's market. It really helps you feel more connected to your community. And there's something to be said about purchasing food or products that the people who are selling them love. They put their care, they put their soul into growing that stuff, and that love and care is going to then feed you, you know, rather than you going to the Burger King and someone slaps together a burger for you and that person hates their life and they hate the fact that they're working there. You're going to get that energy directly into your body.
Yes. And food is the most important thing. It's our entire life. Our life is revolved around it. I mean, even just look at the restaurant industry. It's to bring people together. Everything circulates around food. And what we put into our body is so important on every level. Having food made with love is not just a quote. Like, it's actually real.
Yeah, and the best way, too, that you can do that for yourself is cooking at home. So that helps you connect better with your food. You know, when we touch food, especially in cultures where they still eat with their hands and their fingers, when you touch food, it actually sends a message to your gut about how much saliva to produce and how much digestive enzymes need to be made in order to break it down. And now
so connected. Our body is it's such a smart temple.
Oh my
I
goodness.
mean, it's like the smartest
smart temple
robot. That
an eye temple
has been created. Like, my goodness.
So you don't have to be an amazing cook, but just putting together a little meal at home for yourself that it's beautiful and that you're excited about, you're going to notice. You're going to notice how it makes you feel. Exactly.
Meditate while you're cooking. And all of that is a great example of food energetics. So as you guys can see, it's all based off of energy, preparing for what you want to receive. And moving into micronutrients, micronutrients in your follicular phase that you want to focus on would be omega-3 fatty acids.
I just bought some krill oil from Costco.
Great.
It's like
it's way better than fish oil.
Fish oil, yeah. So, you know, I looked into it, tried to make sure it was super duper clean. You guys, there's a Atlantic or Antarctic krill oil from Costco. Get your hands on it. It's like $26 for the bottle, and it's like 90 soft gels or
Did it
something.
have magnesium? You looked for that ingredient, right? to make sure it
Magnesium.
doesn't stir rate.
Yeah.
It didn't have that in there.
I'll let you look at it. We can go over it after the episode, but
I'm like a maniac, as
I know.
everyone knows.
I know.
It's been years of me being in the industry of reading labels, so I'm like really crazy about it.
So why is omega-3 key for this phase?
Well, that's key. I mean, for women at every phase, and particularly for a woman's health, we actually need those healthy fats to do pretty much everything. But specifically, we need this because we have high FSH levels, and you can have complications relating to your menstrual cycle. And
Ooh, facts, yes.
right, and it can even lead to PCOS. So you want to take your omega-3s to help maintain that and keep things flowing in your body, keep it lubricated.
So the reason that FSH or high levels of FSH can contribute to or show up in that polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, is because, let's picture it this way. Your body is pumping out a lot of this egg growth hormone, right? So it's growing all these follicles. There's so many follicles. However, when the luteinizing hormone comes into play to try to pop one of those eggs out, it's either not high enough of a FLH, luteinizing hormone, or your body doesn't make luteinized hormones. So now you have those polycystic ovaries because there's all of these follicles that have never really matured and they can't get the oomph to like pop out. So that's really awesome that we have the omega-3 in there, and it really helps stabilize that FSH so that it's really only growing what it needs to grow.
So definitely make sure to take your guys' vitamins in with this if you're not already. And definitely I would stay away from fish oil. Krill is great, or algae is really great. Those ones have a cleaner omega-3 that isn't diluted with mercury or intoxified with mercury.
Facts. We need that.
And then in the estrogen metabolism category, you guys will want to focus on taking these micronutrients. There's magnesium, fiber, and phytoestrogens. These are all considered micronutrients. And micronutrients, as we talked about, is basically like vitamins or supplements.
Key minerals.
Yes. So they're going under this category right now because these are what are going to help you metabolize your estrogen. So everyone is deficient in magnesium, but women need it more than guys even. And magnesium is lowest in your follicular stage. So you definitely want to take it during the stage. It's going to help you metabolize the estrogen.
I wonder if that's because of all the blood loss that you just had. So it probably takes all the magnesium that was in the blood.
Totally. Yeah, because of course they even say take iron as well. Fiber is especially important for women's health. High fiber intake can reduce levels of estrogen in the body. And phytoestrogen is a type of phytonutrient that can help reduce the effectiveness of estrogen, which this may provide some relief. And then the foods that contain phytoestrogens are flax seeds, tofu, sesame seeds, garlic, dried fruits, stuff like that.
Amazing. Nature takes such good care of us.
I know. I love
really
it.
does.
It's so cyclical.
We're going to get into some foods, specific foods that are really great fuel for your follicular phase. You want to focus not only on that follicular development, but also efficiently metabolizing estrogen. Again, refer to our free grocery guide that can be found in the link in our bio on Instagram. It can really help you every single week that you shop, whether it's in your follicular cycle, your menstrual cycle. There's already a little base for you guys to jump off of and pick some foods.
Easy.
Yeah.
Like you could literally just go to the grocery store and buy the items listed in that phase, and you'll be set. You'll have meals to prepare for yourself.
Yeah, start off with the ones that you like.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, don't feel the need to buy everything on the grocery guide.
Yeah, just start with 5 things. And a lot of things are basic, like eggs, chicken.
Yeah, it's things that we already eat, but it's the key timing.
Yes.
We're going to talk about some proteins first, because protein is just the building block of everything in life. It's an amino acid. It's so important for good muscles, good hair, the processes in your body. So the best proteins for the follicular phase, right after you stop bleeding and you're building up your eggs and your ovaries, getting them ready for ovulation, these are going to be things like chicken, eggs, some healthy fats and proteins that are going to prep you for ovulation. Fish is pretty healthy during this time too. Trout and some seafoods such as freshwater clam, soft shell crab, and cod too.
Yes, cod's on my follicular. That's what I ate last week. Yeah. And if you guys are vegan or wanting to eat a little bit less meat, the legumes that you guys can eat at this time would be black-eyed peas, green lentils, lima beans, mung beans, or split peas, all rich in vitamins and minerals. Your body needs to gear up for proper maturation of the egg and rebuilding your uterine lining. Tofu and tempeh as well are good options.
Yeah, so you just really want to aid your body with, growing those eggs, rebuilding your lining, and if you are going to get pregnant that month. Moving on to some nuts and grains, because not only is that protein, but also healthy types of fat. So Brazil nuts and cashews are really, really good during this time. And then like you mentioned before, flaxseed, that's a type of seed or, grain nut type of thing. And then as far as grains go, in this follicular phase, you're using a lot more energy. So it's very okay to go for carbs such as oats, rye, or wheat. These types of carbs are not going to hurt you during this time because your body is burning so much energy. And you really need to sustain that if you're going to have energy towards the end of your cycle, if you don't want to crash and burn. This is why diet culture is so harmful to women, because it's had women starve themselves of the nutrients that they need.
Seriously.
And for what? During this phase too, your body actually tends to rely more on carbs for energy than the protein and fats at this stage. So don't feel bad at all. I'm feeling I want to make a little graphic of proportions of carbs to fat to protein for each cycle, because those change.
I would find that really helpful.
Totally. And we never want the girls to feel bad about what they eat. We should be free to eat.
Carbs are going to fluctuate, and you'll notice that too, even if you were to never listen to our podcast and you were just to focus on your body and listen to your body, because your body has all the answers. It's always speaking to you. So it would tell you if you would notice that you're getting hungry for carbs in certain phases. I would really like this graphic though, because it would help me just in terms of preparing my food, because I meal prep now. I'm preparing things like a week in advance. So it'd be nice just to know that, oh, this is a carb heavy week for me. And then what's the phase that I'm not going to eat as many carbs? Is it my ovulatory phase?
Yeah, because that's like the lighter grains, like quinoa, and we'll get to that. But
Yeah, we'll get to it. You guys just wait, okay?
Yeah. Not everything all at once.
So moving on to vegetables, you guys want to be eating artichoke, broccoli, carrot, lettuces, any type of lettuce, parsley, which I put that in everything.
And parsley is a great herb. Not only does it make things taste bomb, but it is some sort of like a antibacterial, antifungal for your body, helps clear out anything icky that you don't want there.
And for the basics, I mean, buying broccoli, carrot, lettuce, and parsley, that could be all you get. And that would last you an entire week. You'd literally have some stuff for breakfast, dinner, and lunch. But moving on, you guys can also get green peas, string beans, zucchini, and also rhubarb, which I've never cooked with. I do want to.
It's
but
good
maybe
in pies.
In a few months. Yeah, maybe a few months from now. I only introduce like one new thing, like around food, maybe a month. I try not to overwhelm myself too much. But really during this time, you guys are focusing on sulfur-rich vegetables like broccoli or other cruciferous. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Vegetables would be like leafy greens and cauliflower.
Cauliflower, anything crunchy.
Yeah, kale. These are going to help fight off the free radicals and support detoxification.
As far as fruits go, you are going to be eating avocados. And yes, that is a fruit. And avocados, not only do they give your body energy and sustenance to release that follicle that has a little grown and matured egg later at ovulation, it also really helps with your bodily processes. I remember you one time telling me that an avocado or two a day will keep your colon really clean.
Yeah.
So avocados are great, not just for the follicular phase, but also for the ovulatory phase. Healthy fats are really everything for us women. Like, they help our brain work. They help our neurons synapse and talk to each other. As far as the sweeter fruits, the fruits that we more tend to think about as fruits, like not avocados. Have you ever thought that avocado is a vegetable? No, you always knew it was a fruit. Yeah, it's because you're a southerner,
I'm just really into food.
Citrus. So this is your time to go ham on grapefruit, orange, lemon, lime. Grapefruit is a great thing to eat first thing in the morning because of the electrolytes, and it just helps your adrenals do better with the stress throughout the day. Plums. I love putting plums in my
so
smoothies. Pomegranate or pomegranate juice if you don't like to go through the
It's $12, but it's so good.
It is good. Yeah. So citrus, plum, pomegranate, sour cherry, or just regular cherry would be great. Lychee.
You guys can get it at the Asian markets. So good.
Like in a can or
no, fresh. It basically comes in a bundle of grapes and then it has a shell around it. And you just bite the shell and then it pulls off and then you have the lychee.
I recently went to H Mart and girl, what have I been doing? Because they have everything.
Yeah, they do.
These types of fruits that you're going to eat during your follicular phase, if you think about it, they're kind of springtime fruits too. They help decrease oxidative stress in the body at this time. So all of the free radicals and things that you take in from your environment, these types of fruits are going to help flush that out.
I would definitely capitalize on that, guys. Be easy on your liver and your kidneys. Help them flush it all out. We have a miscellaneous category here, and number one on that list would be any sort of nut butter, and that's how you guys are going to get your protein and some healthy fats, and as well as anything that's fermented. So olives can count in this category. Pickles, sauerkraut, pickled carrots, or ginger, like if you're getting sushi, and vinegar. I love making my own salad dressings, which is so easy. It's just vinegar and olive oil, lime juice. You can just mix it up with however you want. Balsamic in there.
Those things are so key to maintain the pH balance of your body. You don't ever want things to get too acidic.
Yeah, you guys can actually ferment your own foods. It's really easy. It's so easy. You could just cut up carrots and put them in a jar of vinegar or apple cider vinegar. You let it sit for 30 minutes and you could already eat it, and then just let it chill in your refrigerator forever. Yeah, you have this big jar right now.
I do.
You'll probably have it for a few months.
For real. And I actually let that sit 5 days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The longer. I mean, it's going to sit
Depends
forever,
on your taste.
But like when I'm cooking and I just, let's say if I'm making a poke bowl and I want to have some extra finishes on there, I will just pickle the carrots super quick. After 30 minutes. They taste fine.
Yeah. I think when you're using straight up vinegar, it doesn't take as long. But if you're using just salt and water,
to do your fermenting?
Yeah. And then I poured out a little bit of brine from those gut shots that we get.
And then, of course, it's never a bad idea to keep up with your microbiome by digesting really great prebiotics or probiotics. You guys can find them really anywhere, in any form.
And honestly, you don't even get hung up on buying prebiotics because prebiotics can be found in those cruciferous, crunchy foods that we eat. So that's the food for your bacteria. And then what's probiotics?
Probiotics are like kefir or
like adding bacteria to your right.
Yeah, you guys definitely don't need to buy anything extra unless you don't have time to focus on meeting your nutritional markers. And for a long time that was me, because I was working, I was out of the house 24/7, so I had to lean on supplements like these. So if you're a really busy girl, definitely buy yourself some supplements. And then of course, guys, alcohol. I mean, honestly, it's just not good for you in any phase.
Like, what are the benefits? Exactly.
It's just not a good thing for you. Yeah, the only benefits are, maybe it helps take the social edge off of things. But honestly, guys, it really is affecting us at every stage. And sadly and beautifully, women are really in tune with these things. So it affects us a little bit more. So just lay off the liquor if you can.
And of course, it, dehydrates you, causes a hormonal imbalance, and can sometimes make that cervical mucus that you have, the base of your cervix, can actually make it thicken to an undesirable level. And anytime that you have extra mucus inside of your body cavities, that creates a really icky environment for a disease to breed. And then, of course, you don't make good decisions when you're drinking. So you might, have sex with someone who's not that great or gives you a disease. So of course you don't want that.
And also too, I mean, on that note, we're just gonna go there because I really think it's important for us women as a collective to really gate
and upgrade, up-level everything,
and not let anything, even when I say random, I mean even a guy that you've been talking to for 3 months is still random inside of your body, right? It's a temple. I promise you, sex with yourself is probably going to be better than with some of these guys that are going to leave us with nothing. So please be mindful. We're going to the next level these days.
Honestly, if anyone's still listening at this point, they're a real one, so
I know, right?
they'll be fine with that.
But also, I wanted to say, when we were talking about the cervical mucus, I hope that by this point you guys are starting to get obsessed with this, because I would love to do an episode on your cervical mucus on the different stages of your cycle, because you could really pick up a lot from that.
Have you ever gone so far as to like reach in, pinch the base of your cervix and like pull that out? 'Cause that's really what tells you. It's not just what you see on your panties. Like that's where you get the cervical mucus. That's what people used to do in the old times.
I can just tell from my panties.
Okay.
Or like, I mean, because just like it's different. It's just different texture, and there's never like a lot. Like I have a really healthy like environment, right? I never got UTIs or just anything like this. But yeah, I feel like I can really tell.
Cool.
No, I'm gonna try it. I'm freaked out pinching my cervix though. Yeah. Have you done it?
No, because I can't even know.
Well, maybe we'll experiment. We'll try this for an episode.
We'll come back with the
results. Let's see where you guys are at. How you feel about diving into this information. But let's move on to meal ideas, guys. We're actually about to wrap up this episode. We're almost done.
We're almost done. So we're going to leave you with some ideas. Obviously, get the grocery guide, but here's a few like thrown together ideas, what we've been eating, what we've been liking. So a sample follicular phase day. You have your breakfast. That could be a protein smoothie with avocado to kind of thicken that up, add to the texture, flaxseed and cinnamon. Or you could do oatmeal with cashews, goji berries, and some more cinnamon. You can't ever have enough cinnamon.
Never.
TBH. Oatmeal, you could do either hot or you can do overnight oats. I know overnight oats are like really, really nifty sometimes if you're low on time and low on energy. Lunch could be a chicken breast with parsley served with sauteed broccoli. You're not going to want to cook these foods too heavy. Keep it light. Keep it spring-like. Some string beans and carrots, or you could do a lentil salad for some protein if you're more on the vegetarian vegan side with chopped artichoke hearts. I've been loving artichoke.
Yes. Do you buy them in the can?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not in a can, in a jar.
Oh, jar.
Yeah. Better for sure. We're trying to move away from cans.
Yeah, the jar is how I get them too. And I like to use the oil in my salads.
Right. It's like the dressing. It comes with it.
As you guys know, I have to use everything of everything. I'm a sustainable queen, so everything has to be used.
Everything's got to have a purpose. Dinner could be an omelet served with sauteed zucchini. That sounds really good. Or romaine lettuce salad with sprouts, sliced avocado, mung beans. Of course, always add some protein in there. We women cannot be lacking protein.
No, we need 1 gram per your body weight, honestly, a day. And eat protein with every meal because it helps your metabolism and regulate your blood sugar.
Women have been so scared away from eating protein, but protein is literally what'll give you a nice shape.
Oh, I'll eat protein over anything else any day. Like, as you saw, I was in a rush today and I didn't have time to eat. And I went to the store and bought those little egg bites. Yeah, it's just
so good.
Protein with anything. I will not eat, like, candy or desserts if I don't have, I don't know.
Are you going to go over your follicular foods?
Yeah, because as you guys know, I have to maximize everything. So I started creating this meal plan for myself. And then we'll share it with you guys as soon as I'm done with it. But when I was in my follicular phase, the things that I ate, I did flaxseed and pumpkin seed bites. I made these like little round bites that I could just snack on throughout the day.
Like seed balls?
Yeah.
Cute.
And I need to have fast stuff. So when I'm in the kitchen, I was telling Alina earlier, I meal prep for just maybe for 2 or 3 days. Everything I need in the kitchen at that time. So
and that's much fresher than doing it like for the whole week.
Yeah, the whole week I can't do. And I like to be in the kitchen. I do. Yeah. And I mean, I'm still in the kitchen, let's say in the morning, making eggs or something, or if I have to prep a salad. But everything else I'll prep ahead of time, including even like the rosemary hair rinse that we do. I'll cook that at the same time.
Do you put it in a spray bottle or what do you do?
And my spray bottle is bomb. I'm going to show you it. It's like I don't even know what to call it. At this point,
we need to start our Amazon affiliate situation. We talk about so much stuff.
Yeah, everything takes time. It's all a process. What else do I do? And then, of course, any of my scraps, let's say from the citrus or something, I'll put those peels in the pot. And I'll put a cinnamon and make it smell all good in the house. So I'm really just getting the most out of every ingredient that I'm using. But during this follicular phase for breakfast, I would eat the smoothies, put some flaxseed in there, or oatmeal packets because Matt decided to buy a bulk thing of oatmeal from Costco during COVID, and I still need to finish this up.
It's not expired?
No, I think it'll last forever. I mean, even if it was expired, I'd still eat it. It's just like those Quaker oatmeal packets that are not healthy for you. They have so much sugar, but I can't waste it, guys. I have to eat it. So that's what I was eating. And then for lunch, I was doing a lot of salads. Like you were saying, arugula salad. I would hard boil my eggs. So I would maybe boil 6 or 8 of them, de-shell it, leave it in the refrigerator. And anytime I was eating a salad, I would chop up some eggs. If I was in a rush in the morning, I would just eat an egg while I'm walking out the door. And in the salad, I would put in pumpkin seeds, avocado, and lemon. I ate a lot of cabbage and carrot coleslaw with salmon. So with any protein, you could do that.
Yeah, those are your cruciferous. Cabbage.
Yes. And then the last thing I did, I was kind of mixing up chicken and salmon with the different types of salads or the cabbage and carrot coleslaw. And then I made a lentil stew. And then snacks, I was just eating cashews and apple with nut butter.
That's like so stabilizing because it's like
Probably
the
why I'm
sugar
having such a good luteal face. Look at how good this was.
Yes, such a night and day difference from your other one.
My salads had pumpkin seeds in it.
So you guys, Eva gets a higher grade on this cycle, and your period, when your report card comes, you will know if all of this worked for you.
Exactly. So what's our last note?
It's so important for women to avoid undernourishment. Even if you eat a lot of food, you can still be undernourished because you're not getting the key micronutrients, the food energetics, and your estrogen metabolized. What a lot of women who have applied this way of eating for their hormones, rather than trying and failing at all sort of fad diets, they will tell you that although they won't necessarily see much of a difference on the scale in terms of numbers, right? That never matters. It's their body shape that changes. When you start eating for your hormones, you really take on this much more womanly body shape, and that's such a heck yes for us.
It's so true. And on that note, download our grocery guide. It's the best. Honestly, I use it for everything. I've used it to make these meal plans. It's made it really easy for me just to look at it, know exactly what to buy, and immediately when I see all the ingredients in front of me that I need to eat for the phase that I'm in, my mind is already creating the recipes. And I'm like, oh, cool, I can use this ingredient for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and this one for my snacks, and I can incorporate this in a dessert. Like there's a lot of healthy desserts too that you guys can make, and we're here to help you. Eventually, when we have more time, we're going to share all of our recipes with you.
Yeah, and we're still building all of this out too, trial and error. Yeah. We always want to give you the very best. We'll be posting more follicular phase recipes on our Instagram, and when this episode drops, we will be posting right along with it recipe inspo for you guys so that you can directly apply the knowledge in this episode to your daily life.
Like always, guys, if you found this at all helpful, share it with your girlies, your sister, co-workers, maybe anyone that you know that was having any sort of menstrual problems, struggles, or is wanting to get pregnant and they want to have the healthiest egg possible. Really, we just want to build a community filled with women that are healthy, happy, and just having all their dreams come true. And I promise manifesting and all these things are so much easier when your body is aligned and when you're fueling your body, because how you show up for yourself is going to reflect
how the world shows up for you.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you guys for hearing us out this hour-long episode. More to come.
Yeah. We will talk to you in the next episode. It'll be ovulatory meals.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. See you next week. This show is intended for inspiration and entertainment and is not meant to replace your physician's medical advice.
Music by Moon Blue. Content by Alina and Eva. Produced by Joyous Heron.
You can find more on our Instagram at Stellar Cycles Pod.
Thanks for joining us on this stellar journey. See you next time.